Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, it's National Puppy Day. Check out our new puppy, Willow. I'll put Willow up against any of your all's puppies. I also want to wish happy anniversary to my son-in-law, Chad, and my daughter, Charlie Ann, the parents of the 3 angels. Of course, the 4th angel is Caroline. All right, let's get right to it because we've got a lot to go over. Obama and Biden, they have now admitted, Psaki, I like saying it, Psaki has admitted that Barack Obama calls Joe Biden all the time. Like, that's a big shocker. We know this is the 3rd term of the Obama administration. He's got Susan Rice right where he wants her to be. And I just want to say this, that it's going to end bad, just like the first 8 years of Obama ended. All right, Michelle Obama, doing an interview, says that she is, quote, "I'm tired of my husband. I've heard all he's had to say, and I need some new energy." Whoa. By the way, when you don't ever be jealous of the Obamas being in the White House for 8 years, don't ever be jealous how much money they have now and their Hawaiian estate. Don't ever be jealous of them, because I'm telling you right now, that is one miserable couple. Think about all that they have. And Michelle's even admitted she suffered from depression. We know she wears the pants. Barack is under her thumb. That is one miserable couple, folks. I'm telling you right now, do never be jealous of the Obamas. Kamala Harris, she laughed and said, not today, when asked if she was going to go to the border. Do you see the pattern with Kamala Harris through the debates, through the whole campaign, through today? Kamala Harris is not a serious person. She's just she wants to laugh off everything like she's being charming. She's not a serious person. And she sits one step away from the Oval Office, and Joe Biden is a 78-year-old senile, dementia old man. They now say, Psaki, first it was the wind. Now Psaki says the steps are tricky. I just want to say this. How many times has good old Joe Biden walked up the steps of Air Force 2 and Air Force 1? Plenty. Tricky steps, my ass. The Boulder shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, this is scary. I have a son, Cole, who lives in Colorado. He frequents the actual store where this all happened in Colorado, which is kind of spooky. Now, we've had 2 shootings already. Remember what I was saying? I find this bizarre. The number of shootings that went on during Barack Obama's tenure, and how these shootings disappeared for the most part under Trump. They're all back now. Explain that to me. Explain it to me. We've had a shooting at a massage parlor. Now we've had a shooting there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, this might drive Roger crazy, but I don't care. This is why yours truly carries in both pockets every single day. I do. Right here. 2 guns. Not 1, 2. I have a gun in my pockets. Left, right. I carry them every single day. My wife thinks I'm a little bit like, why do you do that? And I tell her, you know what I tell her? I tell her, you know why I do that? I do that because you never freaking know. You don't think that some whack job can't go into your grocery store where you get your massage, where you get your coffee, your gas station? Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, you should be armed.
You just drove YouTube nuts.
You should be armed. Did I just drive YouTube nuts?
Yeah, you're going to drive YouTube crazy on that one.
All right, well, let's drive YouTube crazy on it. All right, Joe Biden. Oh, baby, 1.9 trillion. He's now saying, by golly, I got 3 more trillion coming your way. You believe this? Spending like a drunken sailor. Drunken sailor. Now, hey, by the way, Raj, isn't it great that YouTube will report about the shooting, about Boulder, Colorado, but doesn't want us to report how we defend ourselves against such a shooting?
Well, they're a little selective.
Yeah, just a little bit. Joe Biden is not allowing the press to see these border tents and whatnot, but some photos have been leaked out. Apparently, a Democratic congressman has leaked them out. Do you see these people lined up? Can you imagine if this was going on with Trump? It would be off the charts. There is a report that border traffickers, human traffickers and drug traffickers, are making $14 million a month. Who voted for Biden? Come on. Not one freaking person has accepted my challenge that if you voted for Biden, I want you sitting in this chair and we're going to have a talk. Where are you? Bunch of chickens. Trump. Boy, is he right. He came out and he was speaking about how the Department of Homeland Security guy, Mayorkas, is totally incompetent. Boy, is he. You know what? He says he looks like an Adam Schiff sitting there talking, blah, 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 blah. We're in trouble. By the way, illegals, you ready for this? Illegals are going to get $4.38 billion in stimulus checks. We are the only moronic country in the world that stimulates illegals. I mean, what is the logic and rationality of that? All because you thought Trump was a little bit gruff.
You have to be a certain nationality for that illegal. Could you be a Russian?
They do not exclude it, Roger.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, you could be a Russian. CIGNA tells employees, can't make this up, don't hire white men. You don't think there's not a war on white men? By the way, you're going to want to watch my special edition today because I give it figuratively 2 barrels on this issue. You're not going to want to miss it. Trump, in his little interview, also spoke about how China is laughing at us. And I've been talking about, everybody's been talking about, you know, can you imagine what China thinks, that we're getting rid of Dr. Seuss, but we let them do whatever the hell they want? How absurd it all is. CNN ratings, not only are they plunging, down 50%, they're now been busted for staging the Rio Grande crossing drowning. They staged this crossing at the Rio Grande. Why does anybody watch CNN? I don't watch CNN. Do you watch CNN? Gas is up $1. I'm going to put that in perspective. If you get 1 full tank of gas a week and gas has gone up $1 a gallon, and let's say it costs $40 to fill up your tank, that's $40, right? $40 more. So times that by 4.23, you're up to $165 approximately. I'm doing this off the top of my head. $165 a month. Guess what, folks? In 1 year, there goes your big freaking stimulus check and gasoline only. But guess what? You probably fill your tank up more than once a week. And guess what? It's going to be going up $2 a gallon. So, boy, you got your little stimulus check, but there your gas tax just went through the roof. Facebook has removed 1.3 billion fake accounts. Roger, how many of your 36 fake accounts did they take down?
I lost count.
Okay. Trump says there's a deep bench. Remember what? I'm a prophet, folks. I take pride in being a visionary and seeing things for you and then sharing them with you. What have I been saying? I expect Trump to endorse a ticket of DeSantis and Nome. I even think they might even run as a ticket out of the gate. Who did he say was their deep bench? He said DeSantis, Nome, Cruz, Rand Paul, Hawley, the future of the Republican Party. Nikki Haley, you blew it. You blew it. Think about this. How does anyone win a Republican primary for president if Trump doesn't run without Trump's endorsement? Who wins? There's no way they can win without Trump's endorsement. COVID rules. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, we know how these lockdown rules affected the mental health of Americans and all the collateral harm. I mean, all of it. Now they're saying there is severe weight gain. I know some personal examples that I've observed of some of this issue. Think about the harm to people's health through severe weight gain. Let's face it, if you're home quarantined, what do? You know when you eat? You know when you eat? When you're bored. You eat when you're bored, not just when you're hungry, when you're bored. You're snacking when you're bored. If you're quarantined and you're home and you're watching Netflix and you're bored, you're going to snack and you're going to eat. Weight's way up in this country. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. God, I get fired up. Kristi Noem is right. Tucker Carlson had her on, challenged her a little bit. She sent the transgender bill back to the legislature to make changes, and she's right. If she signed the bill as it existed, it would have affected women athletes with Title IX and the NCAA. All she wants them to do is tweak it. Kristi Noem is a great conservative, but she's also a thinker. She's got a brain. I love her.
She's smoking hot.
Yeah, she isn't bad to look at. Fond on the eyes. Evanston, Illinois has now passed, they did this yesterday, passed this little reparations, for their black community. Now, folks, I'm going to do some work about Evanston, Illinois. I will bet you Evanston, Illinois is one freaking disaster of a community. It's got to be. And you just watch. It's a disaster of a community. Helen DeGeneres, her views, I don't do pop culture very much, but Helen DeGeneres is a big deal. 50% drop, apparently. Or 1 million viewers. It's something really big ever since her toxic culture came out. Claudia Conway. She, thank God, this is Kellyanne Conway's daughter, George Conway's daughter. By the way, folks, this girl is a spawn of Satan. The things that she said about her mom and her dad, knowing that Kellyanne Conway was in the Trump White House, and the things that George Conway said about, if I was Trump, I would look at Kellyanne and say, Kellyanne, I'm sorry, but you're the hell out of here. Between Claudia and George. And she is just a little snot. And she gets a chance to be on American Idol. Thank God she got voted off because she sucked. She couldn't sing. Now, I generally don't want to pick on a teenager, but this little Claudia Conway is something else. Good riddance for Claudia Conway. San Diego law professor investigated Chinese government. A San Diego law professor is being investigated because they criticize the Chinese Communist government. Only in a Biden America. A UC professor has UC professor over University of Cincinnati, law school, has been asked not to come back. You ready for this? Because they called it the Chinese virus, not law school, college, because they called it the Chinese virus, has not been asked to return. You believe that? A UC professor can't work at UC because they called it the Chinese virus, when it was the Chinese virus. Last but not least, rapper Lil Mama. I don't know who the hell they are, but rapper Lil Mama wants to start a heterosexual rights movement. Sign me up, Lil Mama. I'm right there with you. Don't you just love it? This is the Bulldog on the Bulldog Show, the edgiest conservative show in America. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.